This is the recording for test 3 for our plate tectonics test. Make sure you put your name and circle your hour on the multiple choice part of the test. Number 1. What kind of plate boundary occurs where two plates collide with each other? They collide. Is it A, transform, B, convergent, or C, divergent? Number 2. The type of stress that occurs when two plates separate or pull apart is called? Is it A, tension, B, compression, or C, shear? This is where two plates separate or pull apart. Number 3. A transform plate boundary occurs when A, oceanic crust sinks beneath continental crust, B, two tectonic plates slide past each other, or C, two tectonic plates collide. So this is a transform plate boundary. Number 4, circle all that apply. You can circle more than one letter. Landforms that occur at convergent plate boundaries. So which of these landforms occur at convergent plate boundaries? A, volcanoes, B, mountains, C, mid-ocean ridges, or D, ocean trenches. So circle more than one. Which of these occur at convergent plate boundaries? Number 5. The type of stress that forms a transform plate boundary is called? The type of stress that forms a transform plate boundary is called tension, compression, or shear. Tension, compression, or shear. Number 6. The tallest mountains on the earth are formed from what type of stress? Is it A, tension, B, compression, or C, shear? So the tallest mountains on the earth. Think of the plate boundary mountains would be at. Number 7. Use the image on the screen to answer this question. The landform in the image above is A, ocean trench, B, continental rift valley, or C, subduction zone. Ocean trench, a rift valley, or a subduction zone. Use the same image to answer number 8. Number 8 says, the type of landform in the image above is currently being created in between the African plate and the Arabian plate. This must be a blank plate boundary. So which type of plate boundary could this be happening at? Notice the arrows in the image. Is it A, transform, B, convergent, or C, divergent plate boundary? Number 9. Use this image below to answer the question. The stress that causes this type of fault is A, tension, B, compression, or C, shear. The stress, so this type of stress that creates this type of fault. Again, look at the arrows in the picture. Number 10. Circle all that apply. You can circle more than one. Landforms that occur at divergent plate boundaries. So these are all landforms that occur at divergent plate boundaries. A, mid-ocean ridge, B, continental rift valley, C, volcanic arc, or D, subduction zones. So which ones of these occur at divergent plate boundaries? 11. Transform plate boundaries occur when two tectonic plates collide, two tectonic plates slide past each other, or two tectonic plates divide. So our transform plate boundaries collide, slide, or divide. Use the image below to answer questions 12 and 13. So in this, look at the image. This plate boundary is caused by what type of stress? So you have to figure out which type of plate boundary this image would be and tell me what type of stress that plate boundary is. Is it A, compression, B, tension, or C, shear? Which type of stress caused this boundary? Number 13, use this same image to answer the question. The subduction zone shown above is the main cause of the volcanic arc that is being created. Notice the volcanoes on the land. What other landform is created by subduction of oceanic crust? So what other landform besides the subduction zone and the volcanic arc is there in this picture? Is it A, a mountain range, B, ocean trench, or C, fault zone? Number 14. What evidence suggests that continents were once joined? Is it A, the puzzle-like fit of several continents, B, topography of the seafloor, or C, magnetic signatures? So which evidence suggests that the continents were joined together at one point? Number 15. What is Pangea? Is it A, a fern that lives close to the equator, B, molten rock which bubbles up to the surface, or C, a supercontinent made of the present-day continents? Which one is Pangea? Number 16. Alfred Wegener proposed the hypothesis of A, plate tectonics, B, seafloor spreading, or C, continental drift. Which did Alfred Wegener propose this hypothesis of? Number 17. The discovery of that the Caledonian mountain range in Europe and the Appalachian mountain range in North America are similar in age and structure is one of the main pieces of evidence that supports the hypothesis of seafloor spreading, continental drift, or mid-ocean ridge. Those are your choices. So the fact that there's mountain ranges in Europe and the mountain ranges in North America are similar in age and structure, this supports the hypothesis of which one of these. 18. Which is an example of a climate clue that supports continental drift? Is it A, fossils of the plant Glossopteris found in Antarctica, B, rock samples from mountain range in Europe and a mountain range in North America being similar in age, or C, magnetic signatures in the ocean floor? Again, this is an example of a climate clue. Keyword there is climate clue that supports continental drift. Number 19. Glacial grooves found in the rock along the coastlines of South America, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica are climate clues that support seafloor spreading, continental drift hypothesis, or Earth's interior. So what do the glacial grooves support? Number 20. New oceanic crust is being formed at the A, subduction zones, B, mid-ocean ridge, or C, places where continental crust and oceanic crust meet. Number 21. The temperature measurements taken from under the ocean floor shows the crust is at much higher temperatures where? Is the oceanic crust higher temperatures farther away from the mid-ocean ridge? A, closer toward the mid-ocean ridge, B, or closer to the surface of the water, C. So A, farther away from the mid-ocean ridge, B, closer to the mid-ocean ridge, or C, closer to the surface of the water. Where would the highest temperatures of the ocean floor be? Number 22. The temperature measurements taken from under the ocean floors being similar at equal points on both sides of the mid-ocean ridge provides evidence of, is it A, seafloor spreading, B, tectonic plates, or C, Pangea. So the temperature is equal on both sides of the mid-ocean ridge. What does that tell scientists? Is it that the seafloor spreads, that there's tectonic plates, or that Pangea existed? Number 23. Which one of these is evidence found on the ocean floor that supports seafloor spreading? Is it A, deep sea fossils, B, magnetic signatures, or C, a fern that lives close to the equator? So what did scientists find on the ocean floor that supports seafloor spreading? Number 24. What happens where oceanic crust meets continental crust? What happens where oceanic crust meets or collides with continental crust? Is it A, the continental crust pushes the oceanic crust upward? B, the continental crust sinks below the oceanic crust? Or C, the oceanic crust sinks under the continental crust because it is more dense? Number 25. Tectonic plates move because of A, convection currents, B, volcanic activity, or C, Earth's increasing size. Now it is time for part 2 of the plate tectonics test. Make sure you put your name and your hour on top of the test. Questions 1 through 4, you need to look at this diagram. There are 4 letters that you need to match the correct either landform or the correct thing that is happening there. So it says use the diagram above to match the labels below to the correct letters on the diagram. 1 is convection current / mantle. So which letter would be the convection current in the mantle? Number 2, where would the subduction zone and slab pull force be? Where would the subduction zone and the slab pull be happening? Which letter? Number 3, where would new oceanic crust and the mid-ocean ridge be? Where would you find new oceanic crust in the mid-ocean ridge? Which letter? And number 4, where would you find basal drag or the conveyor belt? Where would that be happening? So match 1 letter to each of these. Number 5, there are 4 different forces that drive the movement of Earth's plates. These forces allow the continents to move. Choose 1 force to describe in detail. So choose 1 from the 4 letters below. Circle the one you choose. And then in your description, you must include how it happens. So how does that force happen? And where does it happen? Does it happen in the mantle? Does it happen at a subduction zone? Does it happen at the mid-ocean ridge? Use the diagram above to help you. All right, on the back, here is the essay. Alfred Wegener came up with a hypothesis that the continents were once joined together as a supercontinent. Number 6 says, describe at least 1 piece of evidence he used to create his hypothesis. So you need to pick 1 piece of evidence that Alfred used to create his hypothesis. Make sure you include the following in your essay. You need to include what was the evidence, so explain the evidence, and then tell me how did this lead Alfred to think the continents were once joined? So what was the evidence, and then what did it tell scientists? How did it tell scientists that the continents were once together and then spread apart? And finally, number 7, describe why it was very difficult for other scientists to support Wegener's hypothesis. Hint, what was Alfred missing? So what was Alfred missing that made the scientists not believe him?